and
Thank
lower
you,
your
sir.
hand. And I'll call upon you when we get to your items. We'll move next to Gigi. Good morning, Gigi.
Good morning. I just want general public comment.
Very well. I have you down for public comment. I'm going to go ahead and put you back on mute and lower your hand. Next, we'll move to Juju. Good morning.
Good morning. General public comment.
I have you down for public comment, and I'll call upon you when we get to that section. I'm going to go ahead and lower your hand. We'll move next to Georgina.
Hi, yes, general public comment and all agenda items, please.
Very well. I have you down for public comment and all items. I'm going to go ahead and put you back on mute and lower your hand. And MD Media, good morning. You should be receiving a pop-up asking you to unmute. And it doesn't look like you are unmuting MD Media. I'll make another call out in about 7 or 8 minutes. It looks like MD Media has dropped and you can rejoin. I'll make another call out in about 7 or 8 minutes. Currently I have Audit LA, Gigi, Juju, Georgina, who have all indicated that they wish to offer comment. It's approximately 9:47, and I'll make another call out in about 8 minutes. Thank you. Good morning once again to our attendees who may be joining us here in the board's hearing room. If there's any member of the public who wishes to offer public comment or commentary on any of our agendized items, please fill out a speaker card located in the back of the room. Indicate which item you'd like to speak on and hand it to me. I'll record your information for the record and call upon you when we reach your item. Good morning again to our attendees on the Zoom platform. And currently I have Audit LA, Gigi, Juju, Georgina, who have indicated they wish to offer commentary. If there are additional members of the public who wish to offer public comment or commentary on any of our agendized items, please raise your hand at this time. I'll record your information for the record. And I see Carla. Good morning.
Yes. Good morning. How are you?
Would you like to offer public comment or commentary on any of our agendized items this morning?
Yes, public comment, please.
Very well. I have you
General
down for
public
public
comment.
comment. Just public comment this morning?
Yes.
Very well. I have you down for public comment, and I'll call upon you when we reach that section. I'm going to go ahead and put you back on mute
Thank
and
you.
lower your hand. And I don't see any other hands raised at this time. It's approximately 9:53, and we should get started in approximately 7 minutes. Thank you. Good morning once again to our attendees joining us here in the hearing room. If there's any member of the public who wishes to offer commentary on any of our items or public comment, please fill out a speaker card located in the back of the room, indicate which item you'd like to speak on, and hand it to me. And good morning again to our attendees on the Zoom platform. Currently, I have Audit LA, Gigi, Juju, Georgina, and Carla, who have indicated they wish to offer commentary. If there are additional members of the public who wish to offer commentary, please raise your hand at this time. And I do see Jill. Good morning.
General public comment?
Very well. I'll have you down for public comment. Henri M. Good morning.
Good morning, PJ. Please mark me down for general public comment and all agenda item, please.
Very well. I have you down for public comment and all items. And MD Media, you should be receiving a pop-up asking you to unmute.
Yes, good morning. General comments, please.
Very well. I have you down for general public comment.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and put you back on mute. If there's any additional members of the public who have not already done so, please raise your hand at this time. Indicate which item you'd like to speak on, and I will record your information for the record. The time is 10 a.m. We should get started momentarily. Thank you. President Corson, we are now in record mode.
All right. Welcome, everyone, to the Board of Public Works meeting for Wednesday, April 16th. Mr. Knight, if you'd like to take roll call and establish quorum for us, please.
Very well. Good morning, President Corson. President Corson, President Pro Tem Grant, Commissioners Kang and Mitchell are present. We do have a quorum. VP Chavez is out on an excused vacation today. We're also joined by City Attorney Representative Virginia Choi. I am TJ Knight with the Board of Public Works. President Corson, we have 8 public comment cards on the Zoom platform and 3 multiple item speaker cards on the Zoom platform. We have no in-person commentary, and we have no comments from Neighborhood Council this morning.
Thank you. Let's start with general public comment, which is an opportunity for the public to address the board on public interest items, and we provided up to 1 minute per person for a cumulative total of 10 minutes for the general public comment segment of each regular meeting. Testimony shall be limited in content to matters which are within the subject matter jurisdiction of the board. The board may not take any action on matters discussed during the public comment period.
Thank you, President Corson. We'll start with Audit LA, and I'll go ahead and start the 10-minute clock now.
Good morning, everyone. I want to talk about yesterday at the East Hollywood bid meeting, the chair said he just signed up for the Angelino portal and chuckled because it now makes sure that you don't have any kind of slavery or, and he laughed. And I'm like, I've been saying that here. It's not a funny situation. There is modern day form of slavery going on, and it's right here at the Scientology Blue Building. It's the RPF. It's also the Sea Org. where these people work for $47 a week for 110 hours a week. And if you're in the RPF, which is their prison system, that is hard labor. Like there's literally the senior man who has severe osteoporosis, who is, he has to literally vacuum L. Ron Hubbard Way or help a blind man across the street, and he can barely he needs help getting across the street. But this is how they treat people, and now because it's a religious institution, it's not considered slavery, it's considered your religious servitude. But once they work on the street like that, vacuuming a street, okay,
Thank you.
the new laws come in, that's the state.
Thank you, Adelaide. That's 60 seconds. We'll move next to Gigi. Go ahead.
Okay, so that meeting that Audit was talking about, I heard the representative for Senator Durazo say that L. Ron Hubbard Way was vacated to Scientology back when they changed the name. That is totally false. And it is horrible that the representative for the senator would say that. But I want to remind you, when they do approach you for the street vacation, please do not do it. Please do metered parking. Get some money. There's no way that there's no parking there. There's no proof of it. So put the metered parking in. Get money. Also, stop with the special event permits that you keep giving them. Like, enforce them more. Do more inspections. Because it's a season. They're starting up again, and it's going to be endless. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll move next to Juju.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, I'd like to talk about the permits that Scientology gets. They have a permit for this Sunday for a community Easter event that is advertised on Eventbrite, supposed to be open to the public. Last year they had this same event. They had police officers, at least 10 of them, across the street and across the sidewalks. The permit specifically says the sidewalks have to be open. They stopped selectively according to who Scientology would let in and out of the sidewalk. One of the ladies that was there, named Laura Anderson, is an ex-Scientologist who was born and raised in Scientology. She was there trying to make contact with her father, who is in the blue building as a slave. He is elderly. Scientology has a disconnection policy. They won't let her talk to him. It was heartbreaking. She just wanted
Thank
to
you.
say something to her father.
That's 60
She
seconds.
got a
Thank you.
microphone.
We'll move next to Georgina.
Hi, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
I am calling in concern of the L. Ron Hubbard street vacation. I am seriously concerned about this street vacation because if you close off that street, you are further isolating the members of Scientology that are trying to leave. They have had known instances of kidnapping people that have tried to leave. I urgently beg you to look up Maureen Bolstad's story. She tried to escape several times. She was kidnapped, put into forced labor camps, and under 24-hour guard. It took her another 3 years to escape. If you vacate that street, you're closing off any avenue of hope for these people. I yield back my time.
We'll move next to MD Media.
Yes, good morning. I'm concerned about the flags out in front of City Hall. I was out there again this week. Excuse me. I was out there again this week, and they're still tattered. They look terrible. The one last flag, the POW flag, is tattered and shambles. I'm ashamed of the city for you guys letting these flags go this long. I was watching a documentary from 2020 last night. Those flags are in there. City Hall, same thing. They look terrible. So they have not been changed since 2020. Thank you. I yield back my time.
We'll move next to Carla.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, I would like to know, there are several issues I would like to ask you about or comment about. One of them is the smokestack that has been taken out, is being taken out in Catalina Street in the Scientology building. I want to know if they have a permit and if the city has checked if this has been done well, because it was a safety hazard. We have numerous videos showing how they haven't protected neighbors. The street was not closed, and there is a testimony of Rosemary Chickwak, who escaped from Scientology thanks to her son, a war veteran who helped her escape, and she has the videos online. And she mentioned that she was forced to work in an asbestos building and remove asbestos. So I don't know if this is going to the neighbors or the people who are living inside. The other issue is what the other callers said about, which has to do with isolating the members who are inside.
That's
If
60 seconds.
you
Thank you.
check
We'll move
Rosemary.
next to Henri. Go ahead.
This board has a big issue on following through with Brown Act violations, and I'm not going to let it go. I will civilly sue you, and I will make sure that the city prosecutes you criminally. That's the beautiful thing about the Brown Act in California. There's criminal consequences, whereas in other states it's mostly just civil action. I'm not going to live it down. I have a dozen letters that I filed for cure and corrects, and they're not going to go away. There is no such thing as a statute of limitations. The only thing that there's a statute on is you guys have 30 days to actually provide relief. And I still haven't gotten that. I have a dozen letters I filed, and I'm tired of it. You know, you guys think suits aren't going to be brought, but I don't let this stuff go down, man. Give me my demanded relief and allow me to have my public comment be inputted. It's just that simple. But instead, you're going to make a whole lawsuit out of it. And like I said, I'm going to see it through. Dozen letters. Let me have my public comments. I've already written you dozens of times.
And that's 60
Stop this
seconds.
nonsense.
And finally, we have Jill. Go ahead.
Hi, as we are in the midst of the celebration of Passover, currently in the fourth day of the 8-day celebration, I urge you not to have a street vacation, because as Jews were released from their slavery in Egypt, we have to help release the Scientologists from their slavery on L. Ron Hubbard Way, which means that you should not have a street vacation, because you will be furthering their enslavement. Think long and hard, because you will be just like the Pharaoh of Egypt. Bye.
And that concludes public comment this morning, President Corsend.
Thank you, Mr. Knight. We'll close general public comment portion for today's meeting and move on to the multiple agenda items public comment. The board will provide an opportunity for members of the public wishing to speak on more than one agenda item during multiple agenda item comment for up to 1 minute per item, up to a total of 3 minutes per meeting. This is the only time to speak on more than one agenda item.
And we'll start multiple agenda item commentary with Audit LA. Please indicate which item you are speaking to. Go ahead.
I believe it's 1, 2, 8, and 9, but don't hold me to it. But I will stay on topic. Okay, the first two, are the sidewalk repair. I'm glad to see $4 million going into sidewalk repair, but that's just a minimal drop in the bucket of what's needed. And I understand you have to do project by project, but with all, my ones I put in for the handicap relief one under the Willets, they told me it's going to be a 10-year, a 10-year project to even get any, whatever complaint we're making today, it's going to take 10 years for it to come up. That is unacceptable. That's going to be years after the Olympics come and go, and you're really going to have this city that's A, unlit, and B, bad sidewalks. That's a recipe right there for massive amounts of lawsuits. And then, so let's jump to number 9, okay? You are forgiving over $100,000 worth of fines, okay? Why? I mean, that $100,000, right? Maybe you put that towards the Willets lawsuit, right? You could say, hey, let's put that towards, and take something from 10 years for the sidewalk repair down to 9 years. But you're not, and this is not the first time I see this. And we've also come here many times telling you that even with all they're going after all the planters that we went here for months, that those fees are probably over $1 million at this point if you really seriously calculated and would actually seriously go after it. $1 million plus that 100,000, we're getting close to what this project is worth. Okay, so that's another whole project that could be done just with that alone. And the city wants to go after money, but here's your to get but instead they're going after the people who are not committing violations. Okay, and try to raise our taxes and raise everything and fees and fees. Go after the fines. Collect your fines. Why are you not collecting them? Excuse me. And as far as the stinky water of Hyperion, okay, yeah, we don't want stinky water. So of course, we want you to fix that, and but there's a lot of stuff that stinks here, okay, and it's beyond. It's that one right there is almost like a great metaphor for the city right now, and what's being done in it, and with all these things, it stinks. And it's just it needs to be handled better. You need to make that not a 10-year process to fix the sidewalks. You need to collect the money that is owed you. Okay, and yeah, you got to.
And that's 3 minutes, and we'll move next to Georgina.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead. Please
I
indicate
want
which
to
item you're
speak on
speaking.
agenda item 14 and then agenda item 22. I'll start with 14, the Community Beautification Act. I think this is a fabulous thing that you guys are doing. I want to commend Supervisor Horvath for putting this forward by opening up engagement.
I'm going to go ahead and put you on mute and pause your time. There is no agenda item 14, and there is no agenda item 22. So if you would like to speak on one of our agenda items, please indicate which items you are speaking on, and I'm going to go ahead and unmute you.
I'm sorry, I must have the wrong agenda list. I will yield back my time.
And we'll move next to Henri M. Please indicate which items you're speaking on.
Hey, yep, I'll go through them with you. So I'll start with agenda item 1. All right. We know from our very own city councilors that for consideration at a minimum, it takes 10 years. Just for consideration. It's not even a guarantee that a sidewalk repair will even go on the agenda, but it takes 10 years. Okay. Now, after the 10 years, what happens? It's 20 to 30 to actually execute the work. So I asked this board, okay? Why do you hate disabled people so much when you can't even fix the sidewalks to allow them to egress and regress? Why do you hate disabled people with a passion that you can't even do your civic duty to make sure that they have accessible infrastructure to go about their day and live independently? Why must you burden them so? And we're talking about budgets here. Let's talk about the budget for the city. Your very own city controller has repeatedly stated, and as of 2 weeks ago, shared very publicly that the city is well over $1 billion in deficit, and that's on the conservative side. The city is desperate for money. So these items on a sidewalk repair, where are you going to get the money? I'll tell you a legitimate way you can get the money for items 1 and 2. There's a very legitimate legal way to get the money where you don't have to harass people, where you can actually collect fees and generate legitimate revenue. One of those is parking meters. It's a big one, and the other one is prosecutorial fines. You don't even have to pay for a general counsel. The city attorney is your general counsel. They are your in-house counsel. How do you get those fines? You install parking meters on L. Ron Hubbard Way, a public street.
Item 1 is a sidewalk repair program bid.
And you also go after prosecutorial fines. Okay, you go after prosecutorial fines, and one of those is the violations of the public right-of-way access. $2,500 a day per violation. Each one is a new charge. The city is entitled to over $2 million to Scientology.
Which
just
item
on the
are you
planters
speaking
alone.
on?
Go collect on the planter money. Don't interrupt me, TJ. So help me God, TJ.
So I'm muting you and I'm pausing your time. This is not public comment. This is agenda item commentary. If you would please indicate which item you are speaking on. Go ahead.
You're incorrect right now, TJ. I want that you're incorrect. I'm sick and tired of this. I want yet again, my public comment is being interrupted and I'm explaining the budget item.
So this is not public comment. This is agenda item commentary.
This is multiple agenda item comment, so
I'm
please identify
commenting on the
which
budget
multiple
related to
agenda
items 1
items
and
you're
2.
speaking on. Thank you.
I want my cure incorrect. I want my cure incorrect right now. info@filmthepoliceusa.com. File it. I want my receipt of the filing. Will you honor the cure incorrect right now, or are we going to go through this and make it 13 that I have?
And that's 3 minutes. And that concludes multiple agenda item commentary this morning, President Corson.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Knight. With that, we'll close the multiple agenda item public comment for today's meeting. Move on to the approval of minutes for Friday, April 4th. If there's a second to my motion to approve those minutes.
I'll move.
We'll take that. Mr. Knight, there's a first from Commissioner Mitchell and a second from President Pro Tem Grant.
Very well. We'll go ahead and take a roll call vote on approval of minutes, starting with you, President Corson,
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant,
Aye.
Commissioner Kang,
Aye.
and Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes, and this item is approved unanimous.
Thank you. We'll move on to item number 1 is being continued to May 7th. Item number 1A, we'll call it that, the bid for the LA Riverway West San Fernando Valley Completion Project, Van Alden Avenue to Balboa Boulevard, is being continued to May 7th. And so we will take up item number 1, bid for sidewalk repair program package number 74, access request acceleration sites.
And this morning, thank you, President Corson. This morning, I'm joined by Matthew Castellanos, and we do have a number of bids on item number 1B. And we'll go ahead and start opening them now. The first bid is from Access Pacific Incorporated. Their total bid amount is $1,937,608. $1,937,608. The second bid is from Addison Miller Incorporated. Addison Miller Incorporated's total bid amount is $1,951,082.50. $1,951,082.50. And the next bid is from Alameda Construction Services Incorporated. Their total bid amount is $2,305,414. $2,305,414. The next bid is from Axiom Group. Their total bid amount is $1,841,495.71. $1,841,495.71. And the next bid is from Environmental Construction Incorporated. Environmental Construction Incorporated's total bid amount is $1,843,481. $1,843,481. And the next bid is from Geronimo Concrete Incorporated. Their total bid amount is $1,745,655.60. $1,745,655.60. And the last bid opening this morning is from HZS Engineering Incorporated, DBA HZS Construction. Their total bid amount is $2,757,458. $2,757,458. And that concludes the bid opening for item 1B.
Thank you, Mr. Knight. Commissioners, do we have a motion to receive these bids? Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Knight. There is a first from Commissioner Mitchell and a second from Commissioner Kang.
Very well, we'll go ahead and take a roll call vote on item number 1B, starting with you, President Corson,
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant,
Aye.
Commissioner Kang, and Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes, and this item is approved unanimous.
Thank you. Moving on to consent items. Number 2 is already on consent, but I would like to have us consider adding 9, 10, 11, and 12 to consent, commissioners, if there is no objection. Okay, is there a second to my motion to add these items to consent? Thank you. Mr. Knight, there is a first from myself and a second from President Pro Tem Grant to add items 9, 10, 11, and 12 to the consent portion.
Very well, we'll take a roll call vote on adding items 9, 10, 11, and 12 to consent. Starting with you, President Corson,
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant,
Aye.
Commissioner Kang,
Aye.
and Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes, and those items are added to the consent calendar.
All right, and the next exciting part is to approve our items on consent. If there's a second to my motion to approve the consent items. Thank you. Mr. Knight, there is a first from myself and a second from Commissioner Mitchell.
Very well, we'll go ahead and take a roll call vote on approval of items 2, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Starting with you, President Corson,
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant,
Aye.
Commissioner Kang,
Aye.
and Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes, and these items are approved unanimous.
Thank you. Item number 3, in all council districts, Memorandum of Understanding, Los Angeles World Airports and the Bureau of Contract Administration for contract compliance services. And we have Chris Jensen.
Good morning, Mr. President, Commissioners, Ms. Choi, and Mr. Knight. This is a little bit unusual for me. I used to appear before the Board of Public Works quite a lot, but for the past few years, I have not come in virtually at all. As President Corson said, my name is Chris Jensen. I am the Labor Compliance Officer for the City of Los Angeles, part of the Bureau of Contract Administration, the Office of Contract Compliance. Our office, to give you a little understanding of what we do, our office was created by the city's admin code, section 10.7.1. We are responsible for making sure that people who work on the city's public works projects get paid what the law requires. When they've been cheated, when they've been lied to, our job is to go out and get the money back for them. We're pretty successful at that. I'm bragging a bit, but we're also very well known, not just in the state, but across the nation for the program we have. So we administer the city's labor compliance program. It's a state certified program. And this means that we're responsible for monitoring and enforcement of state and federal prevailing wage on the city's public works projects. That's any construction, alteration, demolition, maintenance, or repair. Our program, as I said, is highly respected. It's one of only 4 programs in the state that is recognized by the director of the Department of Industrial Relations as what they've designated as a legacy program. We're also the only agency outside of the state themselves who have the authority to not only monitor but also enforce apprenticeship on our own projects. No one else has that authority. When our previous MOU with Los Angeles World Airports expired, it was not surprising that LAWA, as they're known, approached us and asked us to renew our MOU with them, our Memorandum of Understanding. And that's what I'm here to talk about today. LAWA has asked that we once again take on the responsibilities that we've had for over 30 years that I know of. I've been in this office for just months short of 30 years, and we've always had this. Now, I will admit that while I had a fair amount to do with drafting and creating this MOU, the document that you've been presented with is the result of the work of a number of people, both in the Bureau of Contract Administration, John Reamer, Raul Mendoza, and others, as well as staff at Los Angeles World Airports. I'm just the pretty face that's up here to present it to you this morning. So, this MOU does bring some changes that we think are beneficial to both parties, and we've all agreed are beneficial to both parties. First, most importantly, the folks at the airports are insisting that we use a tactic or a technique called strategic enforcement. That's perfect. We're in complete agreement with that. What we would do in the past, we had a complaint-driven program. And when you have a complaint-driven program, the people who are having their money stolen from them, that are being cheated, are probably not likely to complain. They're probably a bit nervous and will not say anything. So, all right, instead, we're going to target the known areas where contractors will take advantage of the system. Also, this new MOU ensures greater communication and interaction between the two offices, between Bureau of Contract Administration and Los Angeles World Airports. I've already noticed myself personally much greater communication and interaction. We're meeting regularly with them now. We seem to have established an excellent rapport. Something that the folks at the airports insisted on is they use a different system for monitoring payrolls than what we've used. They use a system called LCP Tracker. Okay, we've used our own system, but to avoid putting an extra strain, extra burden on the contractors and costing them extra money, we've agreed to go along with the system that the airport uses. They are being very supportive of that. We've already got our people trained to use the system. We're using it currently. The folks at the airports are not only, they're purchasing all the software, the licenses, the administrative rights, so that is progressing very well. Of course, LAWA has agreed to compensate Bureau of Contract Administration for all the services that we provide under this MOU. I have to be very honest with you. I think this is a bit of a softball. I know a number of things come up that are contentious. I don't think this is really one of them. The MOU that we're proposing will be good until December 31st of 2029. So goes for a while. I'm sorry, it's 2027. Any questions?
President Christen, I'm sorry to interrupt. There is a hand raised on the Zoom platform. I can ask if the caller wants to offer commentary on this item.
Yes, thank you.
Caller ending in 403 on the Zoom platform. I see your hand is raised. I'm going to ask you to unmute. Would you like to offer commentary on item 3 this morning?
Yeah, I was trying to speak in the prior item, but you wouldn't take my call. I don't understand that.
Caller, do you have a comment on this item?
I was speaking on the prior item, and you didn't take my call.
Right, but we're on item number 3 at the moment.
Well, I'm reading your rules, and I was entitled to speak on the prior item. You didn't call my card.
Okay, Mr. Knight, we can. All right, commissioners, any questions or comments on this item? Is there a motion on this item?
Second.
Thank you. Mr. Knight, there is a first from Commissioner Mitchell and a second from President Pro Tem Grant.
Excellent. We'll go ahead and take a roll call vote, starting with you, President Corson.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner Kang.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes, and this item is adopted and referred to Mayor forthwith.
All right, thank you. Going on to item number 4, also from the Bureau of Contract Administration. All council districts, memorandum of understanding between the Los Angeles World Airports and the Bureau of Contract Administration for contract compliance services for living wage. And we have Michael Rodriguez.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Michael Rodriguez. I'm a management analyst for the Bureau of Contract Administration. And today I'm here presenting the MOU between the Los Angeles World Airport and the Bureau of Contract Administration. The physical impact of the MOU will have no impact on the general fund of the City of Los Angeles, as LAWA has agreed to compensate BCA for all contract compliance services. Our recommendation is to authorize Bureau of Contract Administration to execute the MOU between LAWA and BCA. BCA has been providing LAWA with the same contract compliance services since 2011. The current MOU is set to end June 30th of this year, but LAWA has requested for BCA to continue providing contract compliance services. BCA is also the designated administrative agency for administering, monitoring, and reporting of the city equal employment and affirmative action policies, equal benefits ordinance, living wage ordinance, and the workers' retention ordinance. Our scope and services also include auditing services, service contracts for compliance of our city ordinances, such as living wage. With the conclusion of an audit, BCA can be tasked with facilitating proper restitution from employers to rightful employees. The LWO contains an airport-specific wage rate. Currently, the wage rate for airport employees is $19.28 per hour, with an additional $5.95 for provision of health benefits. BCA currently has 15 active investigations that will directly impact thousands of airport employees. Also included will be our continued services, which include proactive random audits of at least 3 companies per year. These companies will range from performing passenger services to ramp functions at LAX. As a part of our new outreach program, BCA staff will also conduct interviews with workers at LAX and will also conduct training 1 hour once a year for all LAX workers of certified service providers. BCA will also participate in a task order solicitation with the contractor that will provide community outreach at LAX. LAWA is willing to provide funding for 1 senior management analyst and 4 management analysts. The term of agreement, once approved, will remain in effect for the next 3 years. If there are any questions at this time, I am available. I want to take this time to thank the President and the Board of Public Works. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Knight, do we have any public comment on this item?
President Corson, we do have a hand raised. The caller ending in 403 has raised their hand. Would you like to offer commentary on item 4 this morning?
Yeah, I wanted to speak on the consent items, but you didn't take my speaker card.
Would you like to offer commentary on item 4 this morning?
I wanted to speak on the consent items.
General public comment and multiple agenda item comments have closed.
All right. Commissioners, do we have any questions or comments on this item? Seeing none, is there a motion? Thank you. Mr. Knight, there is a first from President Pro Tem Grant and a second from Commissioner Mitchell.
Very well. We'll go ahead and take a roll call vote on approval of item 4, starting with you, President Corson.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner Kang.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes, and this item is approved unanimous.
All right. Moving over to item number 8. Oh, no, item number 5. Need new glasses. Council Districts 1 and 14, above ground facility variance at 4106 North Monterey Road. And we have Tao Yang.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Tao Yang, the AGF Supervisor in Bureau of Engineering Central District. I'm speaking on behalf of Christine Sotelo, the District Engineer. The item before you is a volume variance request for an existing AGF installation. It is located at the entrance of Debs Regional Park on Monterey Road, which is at the boundary of Council District 1 and 14. and with most of the residential side on CD 14 side. The applicant Infra Services, who represents AT&T, is proposing an upgrade to their existing facility to provide emergency power backup to the equipment, to the antennas on the pole. There are currently 2 cabinets on the west side of Monterey Road and 1 cabinet on the east side of Monterey Road. On page 4 of the board report, there is a photo simulation of the before and after, if you're interested in looking. The 2 cabinets on the west side are increasing in size, and the one on the east is decreasing in size. There was a previous board report in 2014 that allowed the existing cabinets to have a combined volume of 71 cubic feet and 6 feet in height. The replacement cabinets are going to be the same height, but will exceed the volume limit. The new cabinet size will be 112 cubic feet approximately. Hence, they're requesting a volume variance. Cultural Affairs Commission has approved the new cabinet designs, and we did not receive any appeals or comments from the neighbors or the council districts. And because the applicants have met all of the requirements for the variance, as per the code, BOE is recommending approval for this volume variance. And that concludes my report. And thank you for listening, and I'm available to answer any questions.
Thank you. Commissioners, do we have any questions or comments on this item? Commissioner Kang?
Good morning. Thank you for coming in. Quick question. I'm very much in support of the upgrades, but I'm assuming the neighbors that are impacted in the area were notified of these changes?
Yes, notices were sent out, and they were given 14 days to give us any comments or appeals, and we did not receive any.
Thank you. Anyone else? Mr. Knight?
President Corson, there is a hand raised on the Zoom platform. If you like, I can.
Let's try it again.
Caller ending in 403, I'm going to ask you to unmute. I just would like to clarify that for the public that this attendee did not have their hand raised during general public comment, nor during items 1 and 2. So would you like to offer commentary on this item, caller ending in 403? We're currently on item 5.
After you close public comment, you added an item to consent. I'm entitled to speak on that item. It's just
Okay. All right. And Commissioners, is there a motion on item number 5?
I'll move.
Thank you. Mr. Knight, there is a first from Commissioner Kang and a second from Commissioner Mitchell.
Very well. We'll go ahead and take a roll call vote on approval of item 5, starting with you, President Corson.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner Kang.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes, and this item is adopted unanimous.
All right. Moving to item number 6, request for authority task order solicitation. Yes. S036ED Watershed Management Program. Go ahead.
All right. Good morning, Commissioners. Nice to see you again. My name is Miller Zoe. I'm Acting Assistant Division Manager in the Watershed Protection Division of LA-SAN. Our division is responsible for ensuring the city's compliance with federal, state, and local water quality regulations, and that would primarily be through meeting the Regional Municipal Stormwater Permit, which we call the MS4 permit, and its associated total maximum daily loads, or TMDLs. I'm here today with my fellow manager, Orville Hernandez Marcial, as well as Jorge Mejia and Richard Tavalacci from my staff. And we are here to request authority to issue notice of award to Larry Walker Associates for TOS S036 and to approve the budget in terms of engagement. So this TOS provides specialized regulatory and technical services for compliance with the MS4 permit, as well as our watershed management programs, which we refer to as WIMPs. This TOS falls under the LA-SAN on-call parent contract for technical support services. The requested budget is just about $3.6 million, which does include a 15% contingency, and the term of engagement for this TOS is 3 years with an optional 12-month extension. In terms of the funding breakdown, 75% of the funding will come from the Stormwater Pollution Abatement Fund, and the rest will come from the Measure W Municipal Fund. There are 5 main tasks under this TOS, and I'll just provide a high-level overview. We can answer any specific questions you may have. So task 1 is MS4 permit compliance, and this includes support with the upcoming permit renewal process, which is anticipated within the next 5 years. The most recent one was 2021, and it take about 5 to 10 years. So we're anticipating that, as well as our extensive annual and semi-annual reporting requirements. Task 2 is revisions to our watershed management programs, our WIMPs, which is also a permit requirement, and support is needed to update our models and refine the reasonable assurance analysis. Task 3 is regulatory support that is needed for water quality regulations, both getting ahead of anticipated challenging deadlines upcoming over the next few years and responding to notices of violations that we've already received. Task 4 includes inspections of industrial and commercial facilities for stormwater compliance, as well as emergency responses to address illicit discharges and/or emergency leaks and spills. And then our last main task under this TOS would be staff augmentation for our low-impact development program to help conduct plan checks, as well as permitting services, and as well as inspections for the LID projects to make sure they're in compliance with the code. So for this TOS, we've selected Larry Walker Associates as the prime consultant. They submitted a very strong proposal. They also have a strong proven track record over the past 2 decades of supporting the city and LA San with our wastewater and stormwater permits, as well as navigating some of our most challenging TM deals to date. The sub-consultant team includes 19 firms, 6 of which are also prime consultants on the on-call list, which will be helpful because the scope of services for this TOS is kind of wide and covers a lot of things under the permit. So while LA San staff do lead many compliance activities in-house, technical support is still crucial for things like specialized modeling, regulatory strategy, and legal review. This TOS will allow LA San to meet the multifaceted requirements of the MS4 permit in order to protect water quality and public health, and also avoid the violations, fines, and third-party lawsuits that can come along with noncompliance. In addition, since this TOS provides critical regulatory and technical support, it allows our internal staff to focus on their core responsibilities, including compliance planning, enforcement actions, emergency response, and strategic initiatives. That wraps it up for the presentation. Thank you for your time, and we'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Commissioners, do we have any questions or comments on this item? All right,
President Corson, there is a hand raised in the Zoom platform. If you like, I can ask if the caller would like to offer commentary on item 6.
Sure.
Caller ending in 403. We are now on item 6. Would you like to offer commentary on item 6?
I emailed my current correct. I want to speak on the consent items you illegally amended.
Okay. Commissioners, do we have any questions or comments on this item? Is there a motion on this item?
So, second.
Thank you, Mr. Knight. There is a first from Commissioner Mitchell and a second from President Pro Tem Grant.
Very well. We'll go ahead and take a roll call vote on approval of item 6, starting with you, President Corson.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner Kane.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes, and this item is adopted and will move forward forthwith.
All right, thank you. Moving to item number 7, supplemental agreement, change order number 131, San Fernando Bike Path Phase 3 project, and we have Brian on.
Good morning. My name is Brian An. I'm Senior Civil Engineer at the Bureau of Street Services. For this board report, Streets LA is seeking authorization to issue supplemental agreement change order number 131 to Sully Miller, the contractor, to address additional change orders to conclude the construction. Just a little bit of background about this project. The project is located in the Sun Valley area of the city of Los Angeles and provides construction of a Class 1 bike path from Branford Street to Cohasset Street, which is about 4.1 miles, within the Metrolink Railroad right-of-way, adjacent to San Fernando Road. This project includes a paved 12 feet wide Class 1 bike path, fencing, lighting, railing, striping, signage, access ramp, driveways, landscaping, retaining walls, and traffic signal improvements. On August 12, 2019, the board awarded the contract to Sully Miller Contractor Company in the amount of $18,388,000 with a contingency amount of $1,838,800 for a total approved construction budget of $20,226,800. After 1 year into the construction, Metrolink updated their safety requirements for the railroad flaggers present on the project. They felt that it was insufficient, and they required additional railroad flaggers to include the level of safety to their satisfaction. Subsequently, the board approved a total contingency amount of $1.85 million to comply with Metrolink's requirement for additional railroad flagging services. Also, on September 29, 2023, the board approved a contingency increase of $1 million to address unforeseen field conditions during 780 feet of retaining wall construction, design changes imposed by Metrolink, and costs for additional flagging services. Just to give you an update on where the project is, the project has been completed, and the statement of completion was issued on November 25th, 2024. However, the project was impacted by Metrolink's portion of the work to perform their signal cutovers at Penrose, Sheldon, and Sunland crossings. These impacted the post-interconnect activities and requiring a revision on the agreement to extend the completion date, and came with additional change orders that accrued. As of right now, all change orders associated with the project impacts has been executed, and there's one additional remaining change order for additional railroad flagging services from the interconnect activities. The amount of this change order will result in the total contract amount surpassing the 125% threshold of the original contract amount, requiring a supplemental agreement change order 131. This supplemental change order shall raise the current contract ceiling set at $22,985,000, which is 125% of the original contract amount, to $23,011,000, $146.63, which is 125% and 14% of the original contract amount. Execution of this supplemental change order will give the construction management team authority to issue the final change orders and bring the contract into the final closeout. The current authorized contract budget of $23,582,000 will not require supplemental funds to execute this supplemental change order number 131. This concludes my report, and please let me know if there's any questions.
Thank you. Commissioners, any questions or comments on this item? Is there a motion on this item?
I'll move. Oh,
Apologies for interrupting the move and second. There is a hand raised on the virtual platform. If you'd like, I can ask.
Sure.
Caller ending in 403. We are now on item 7. Would you like to speak on item 7?
All right, he's not there.
Actually, I accidentally remuted him after. Go ahead. And his audio is not coming through.
I sent my Karen correct. I want to speak in the consent item. It's amended under the Brown Act.
Okay. Commissioners,
Could you please let us know which item you would like to speak on?
So caller ending in 403, which item would you like to speak on this morning?
You got to reopen the item first before I speak on it.
Is it general public
I sent
comment
my
you would like
Karen
to?
correct.
Okay,
I can't comment on it until you reopen it, ma'am. Are you a lawyer? Do you understand what the Brown Act is? I put my Karen correct email.
it doesn't sound like he has public comment on this item. Why don't we continue the vote, and then we can come back to him after we
we'll
vote.
come back to you, Speaker.
All right. Commissioners, is there a motion on this item?
I'll move.
Thank you, Mr. Knight. There's a first from Commissioner King and a second from Commissioner Mitchell.
Very well, we'll go ahead and take a roll call vote, starting with you, President Corson.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner Kang.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes, and this item is adopted and will move forward forthwith.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Without objection, commissioners, I'm going to reopen multiple agenda item public comment. Let's go to this caller and provide him up to 3 minutes.
Caller ending in 403. Go ahead.
I'm going to get 3 minutes now, but how can you give me 3 minutes? You only given 1 minute. Now you're giving 3 minutes.
Sir, you have up
What
to 3
about
minutes. We need to know which items you're giving multiple agenda item public comment on.
But I asked to speak on the consent calendar vote.
Okay, so you're speaking
an
on items
amendment.
2, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Go ahead.
But I don't understand. So you're satisfying my Karen correct by giving me 3 minutes. What about the other public that's still on the line?
Sir, you
And I only
have,
need public
caller, you
comment.
have up to 3 minutes for items 2, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Are you speaking directly on those items?
The illegality involved in the way that you did that vote. Yes, absolutely. But what happened to the people that gave public comment before it was amended? Are you going to reopen public comment to those speakers? Or are you going to continue to violate the Ralph M. Brown Act, amending things, and then not giving the public an opportunity to reopen public comment based on those items?
Right. So, caller, are you
still
speaking on
haven't
items 9, 10,
voted.
11, and 12?
But you're doing it illegally. You
All
haven't
right. Mr.
reopened
Knight,
the
I don't
items
think he's
yet.
speaking to a specific item.
Thank you, President Corsand. And if there are any other members of the public who have not already offered commentary on any of our agendized items, please raise your hand at this time. And seeing no additional hands raised, we can go ahead and, if you like, we can close commentary again.
Let's once again close multiple agenda public comment. And we'll go to our last voting item for today, item number 8 in Council District 11, Bureau of Engineering, Bureau of Sanitation, Construction Services Contract, and Sole Source Contract Capital Improvement Project 8192 Hyperion Water Reclamation Plant Mobile Odor Control Unit Procurement Project. Lots of words for Mr. Ethan Wong.
Good morning, everyone. This is Ethan Wong with the Bureau of Engineering, Environmental Engineering Division. So the report before you today is for the Hyperion Membrane Bioreactor Pilot Facility Project, which we'll be conducting at the Hyperion Water Reclamation Plant. This project plays a crucial role in the city's goal in recycling wastewater. This is part of the Pure Water LA program, and it is required as a proof of concept to the Department of Drinking Water to show that this type of treatment process can be used in the overall treatment of wastewater and recycling it to potable water standards. The overall project will look at various different data, such as water quality and operational data. We'll be studying different membrane manufacturers, operational capabilities, and we will be looking at all this in hoping for the future in constructing large-scale MBRs at the Hyperion Water Reclamation Plant for potable reuse and water recycling. In order to use the facility, we do have to comply with the South Coast Air Quality Management District's Title V permit, which will require an odor control system to be in place while the pilot facility is in operation. We are proposing to sole source a mobile odor control unit, which will be supplied by Daniel Company. Daniel Company in various other projects at both the Hyperion and Donald C. Tillman water reclamation plants has supplied outstanding odor control facilities. They are also currently working on a sister project of this one, assembling, which is known as the Biological Nutrition Removal MBR Odor Control System Project, Capital Improvement Project 8189. So to facilitate the speed of procuring this mobile odor control unit, which will be required for AQMD requirements, we suggest using Daniel Mechanical, as they've proven on the other projects at both Hyperion and Donald C. Tillman, that their units are very effective. And this project does have a critical timeline, as it will be used to prove to the Department of Drinking Water Standards, and will also keep the overall Pure Water LA project on schedule. So we are asking for the use of our Cisco contract so we can immediately start procurement on this unit after if the board adopts this board report today. So we are looking for authorization to our Cisco to issue task work orders to our Cisco contract at a not to exceed amount of $704,000 to facilitate this procurement project. And we are also requesting to sole source Daniel Company to procure the mobile odor control unit at an amount not to exceed $616,800. That concludes my report, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have on that.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Wong. Commissioners, any questions or comments on this item? Seeing none. Is there a motion on this item?
So move.
All right. Mr. Knight, there is a first from President Pro Tem Grant, and there is a second from Commissioner Mitchell.
Very well, very well. We'll go ahead and take a roll call vote on approval of item 8, starting with you, President Corson.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner Kang.
Aye.
And Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes, and this item is adopted and will move forward forthwith.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Wong. Commissioners, per request from the city attorney, we are going to reopen item number 9 and item 9 alone for general public comment. Mr.
Well, it's any of the, does anybody want to offer single item comment on any of the consent items?
Thank you for that clarification.
Of course.
Please raise your hand if you're on the Zoom platform and you wish to offer single item commentary this morning. Caller ending in 403. I see your hand raised. I'm asking you to unmute.
1 minute.
The problem you got with that, you already took an additional general public comment of 3 items. You have to reopen all the consent items because you took public comment on it. And you haven't done that yet. You got to reopen it, all of it.
Sir, it's open right now. You have 1 minute. Which item are you speaking on?
You have to reopen all of the consent items.
Right. Which item are you speaking on?
You got to reopen all of them. Then you have to offer public.
Okay, so
I've paused his time and
yes. So which individual item you'd like to, single item for any of the consent items, or which of them would you like to speak on? You will get 1 minute each. Did he?
I want.
Caller, which item are you speaking on?
And just for clarification for the commissioners and members of the public, I am asking the caller to unmute.
You're going to go to prison if you keep doing this. Don't keep doing that stuff.
Right. Which item are you speaking on?
You took public comment for 3 minutes.
Sir,
you have to reopen
we need
all
to know
the
which item you're
consent
speaking on. I'm not going to go back and forth.
But you have to reopen the item first.
Which item
before you offer public
are you
comment.
talking about, sir?
All of them. You reopen public comment on all of them. You got to reopen the whole consent calendar again.
The consent calendar is open right now. We've offered it to you. Which item would you like to speak on?
Oh, you have to give me 3 minutes if you reopen
Sir,
the
we came to
consent
you earlier
calendar.
and offered you multiple agenda item, and you did not take that chance. So right now you have an
But
opportunity
you
to speak.
didn't reopen the item.
We did open the item.
I can't talk on something
sir,
if it's reopened.
all right, I'm not going to go back and forth. Which item would you like to speak on? And you will have 1 minute.
Mr. Grant, you need to go to the FBI and tell them about what's going on
Okay.
here. This is illegal. Federal funds
I think we've
are at
exhausted
stake.
our paths
This
here.
is
We've offered him multiple
ridiculous.
agenda item and single agenda
Don't
item,
understand the
and he's not
law.
taken the opportunity. Mr. Knight, I think we can once again close multiple agenda item and individual item for today.
Very well. Thank you, President Corson.
All right. It is 11:04 a.m. I believe we've cleared our desk and we are adjourned for today, and there will not be a meeting on Friday, April 18th,
Nor on Monday.
nor on Monday, April 21st. Thank you.